that the Commonwealth Games are still underway, and KBC Channel 1 has been broadcasting them to you live. And some of the games to watch today, including the 100 meters race, where the fastest man in Africa is going to be taking place. I'm talking about Ferdinand Omanyala there, who qualified there for the semi-finals. That is going to be taking place tonight at 9:18 p.m. and you can bet that Kenya Broadcasting Corporation is going to be televising this feat live. And also Kenya also started on a good note in as far as the athletics under 20 championship that started on Monday are concerned, with Betty Chelangat striking the first gold in the 3,000 meters race, while Nancy Cherop there clinched the bronze. This is just but a sneak peek that we have on as far as matters sports in this particular daily is concerned. Remember, further details are still on our website there. Now, taking to the front page of the daily that I have with me in studio, it's all about the upcoming elections that are just 5 days away. So we have 4 contenders who are going to be eyeing the presidency. So are you ready to vote? And is the IEBC ready and committed to deliver a free and fair election? They say they are, after yesterday ensuring and notifying Kenyans that they can now go verify their voter registration details at their respective polling stations. And this happened to be a majority of public schools that are going to be used as polling stations. Go check your name and your details. Remember, if you are found missing or if you are missing from that particular register, you'll not be able to cast your vote. And if you lose or misplace or you do not have on your person the document that you used to register for the elections, well, you might not also participate in that particular civic activity, which is your duty to elect the next government that is going to enforce governance and leadership for the next 5 years at least. So the front page, it reads high stakes, the 10 big names to watch. Who are they and why are they important? 5 days to the August 9th polls. So the 10 happen to be, the man at the center is none other than the IEBC chair, that is Wafula Chebukati, who is the presidential returning officer. And he is a referee in this particular match. In colloquial languages, we said this is indeed a match. And IEBC, the elections are quite emotive. We know that. Now, IEBC, through its actions, can inspire confidence before the elections and during the transmission of results. And going by that particular report yesterday, where we saw the activity happening down at the Bomas of Kenya, that is the National Tallying Center, is that the chair and his team continued to exude confidence that they are ready to deliver a credible election. And also appeals coming there from multi-stakeholder persons are led by Archbishop Ole Sapit, who implored on Kenyans to cast their ballot and head home and not mill around the Bomas of Kenya. Besides, the polling stations, is the results that are going to be announced from the polling stations as per law are indeed the right numbers, or rather the right votes. So the IEBC working at the Bomas is just to verify and announce the results that have already been collected. That is what you say, Form 35 from the 34C, so to speak. So the 10 names to watch, the big names. We start off with on this particular paper, we have Kenya Kwanza flag bearer, that is William Ruto, Azimio la Umoja, One Kenya Alliance, Raila Odinga there. We also have the C Communication Authority of Kenya is also going to heavily feature in the next few days. We have pictured there is Chiloba. We also have Martha Koome there as the Chief Justice. We have President Uhuru Kenyatta there. Remember, he has already shown his support for the Azimio flag bearer Raila Odinga and continues drumming up support for him, saying as a person, as an individual, as a Kenyan, he has a right to pick a preferred candidate, and his is none other than Raila Odinga. We also have Karanja Kibisho there, and Matiang'i as well as Mutiambai featuring among the 10 people to watch. And these are the men and women who carry the hopes and fears of a nation. Further details, you can get yourself a copy of this particular daily. Also featured on this particular daily, the front page, is abrupt school closure leaves students stranded. We did a spot check as KBC Channel 1. We saw a number of students stranded at various bus termini following that particular directive. Then also we have the survey, Ipsos as well as Infotrack there, giving their reports there, indicating that Raila is still holding the lead, with his main contender, rather competitor, being William Ruto of Kenya Kwanza. That's just but a sneak peek of what we have on this particular daily. I'd want to hand you over to Victor to bring you up to speed with what the dailies have on the other side. Victor, to you.
All right, and with 5 days to go, believe me, next week at such a time we'll be counting on different figures, already having known who has won in which particular, governor, senator, woman rep, and any other position that will be contested next week general election. So let's take a look at what we have on our local dailies. Let me start with the Star here. On the front page of the Star newspaper, Uhuru secrets Kisumu Kakamega meetings. Uhuru secret Kisumu Kakamega meetings. Kenyatta tells Luo leaders not to let him down on Odinga's bid, ensure huge turnout. Now, it said that the gathering was attended by current elected leaders and candidates only. That is what's on the front page of the Star. Over 100 families flee after 8 burnt to ashes in Turkana raid. It's also reported or suspected, as per the area chief, who is Captain Ikiru, who said that the suspects are the rustlers who torched the homesteads, and as of now, somber mood has engulfed Napi Tom village in Turkana East after the Sunday night attack where 8 people were burnt to ashes by suspected Pokot bandits. At the same time, a minor was also abducted in the raid by people that the area chief suspect came from Tiati in Baringo County. All right. Wrong body buried. Family seeks help for pastor's fresh send-off. It's a story here that it happened in the western part of Kenya, where a family in Eloai village in Navaholo, Kakamega County, was shocked to discover that they buried the body of a stranger, believing it was their loved one. Now, confusion started when they took a body with the same name of a different body which was at the mortuary. So the person they buried had a similar name, Emmanuel Shionga. And they said that they spent over 500,000 shillings on the funeral expenses, and they now are drained financially. And so they are now planning to exhume the body and give their kin a decent burial. Families flee after 8 burnt to ashes in Turkana. Women in county have now vowed to hold polls over insecurity. We saw the Interior Ministry led by CS Matiang'i yesterday in Nakuru saying that they have beefed up security in parts of Molo and other parts of Rift Valley, and there should be no issues at all. Secret of Uhuru's night meetings with Luo leaders. It said that sources who attended the meeting disclosed that the president told them that his heart was with Raila Odinga and he wants to hand over power to the former opposition leader. And he said that this can only happen if voters came out to cast their ballot. Word has it that not even the president's bodyguards were allowed in the meeting room, which was attended by over 200 leaders, both elected and Azimio aspirants from all the 4 Nyanza counties. That is that. And very quickly, finally, we've alerted EU over Uhuru's illegal activities, says Gachagua. We have alerted AU and EU over Uhuru's illegal activities, says Gachagua. Says that they want the global community to rein in on Kenyatta to avert lacking disaster. How that is going to pan out will be an interesting bit. Remember, AU and EU are official observers in the forthcoming general election.
All right, now with just the recent directive from the Ministry of Education that schools needed to be closed for the purpose of this election, again knowing fully well that good number of these schools, particularly public schools, serve as polling center. Now school heads are finding themselves in a crisis, and this is particularly in terms of food, transport crisis following this closure. Just going by what a majority of head teachers are saying is that they had already, procured the services of suppliers, particularly when it comes to some of these items, but now they'll just end up going bad, seeing that learners are not in schools, at least for this week up until elections are concluded. And also just citing the fact that, again, teachers had begun setting the midterm exams. So again, also just that puts them in a bit of confusion. But remember that also the ministry has said that schools again will be reopened on 10th. This is exactly just after,
I'm told that Regina has got something to talk about on the other side of studio. I don't know. Regina, what's pinching you?
Well, it seems that the communication from the other side isn't as clear. Just to remind you that if you need further details in regard to stories that have been making headlines in the last 24 hours, our website is up and running, and that is www.kbc.co.ke. Now we continue with those stories that have been making headlines as captured by the various dailies that we have with us in studio. And a big win against terrorism. This is what international the global world is saying in regard to the killing of an Al-Qaeda leader who had evaded the U.S. capture for 21 years after the suicide airliner attacks that changed America and its relations with the rest of the world. Who are we talking about? Al-Zawahiri. I just want to read a few bits of who and why Ayaman and why did the USA kill him. Now, according to this particular report, an Egyptian Al-Zawahiri was born on the 19th of June in 1951 and had a comfortable family. He also worked as an eye surgeon as a young adult, and he merged with his own Egyptian militant group with Al-Qaeda in the course of his years. And after the years of quietly assembling the suicide attackers, funds and plans for the September 11th attack, Zawahiri and lieutenants ensured that Al-Qaeda survived the global manhunt that followed that attack. Remember the 9/11 attack there? He was part and parcel one of the ring leaders that ensured that this came to pass. 21 years he has been at large, and now the U.S. has confirmed that he was actually killed in an airstrike there by a CIA drone. And this particular article goes further to give the details of the R9X missile that is fitted with lasers and is dropped onto the target. It gives a whole description on why the Macabre Hellfire R96 was effective in this particular takeout of Al-Zawahiri there. Now, according to Joe Biden, the U.S. president, clear and convincing, I authorized a precision strike that would remove him from the battlefield once and for all. This measure was carefully planned rigorously to minimize the risk of harm to other civilians. We'll be keeping tabs on that. Remember, Kenya is not, spared either when it comes to matters of terrorism. While you're talking about the 9/11, we already had the 1997 August bombing, whose anniversary is just but some few days away there, and we lost Kenyans, and that still remains fresh over 10 years. We also have the Dusit D2 being the recent attack, especially within the capital city there, where we also lost Kenyans there, and the grisly one that took away the lives of students there at the Garissa University. So Kenya is not immune to matters of terror. So indeed, this is a win then against terrorism. So that's a story that has been given in detail there in this particular article, in this particular paper. Now, matters of politics continue also taking center stage in this particular paper, 5 days to the elections, and we'd want to focus on what you need to know Who are undecided voters, and why have others changed their voting intention? That's a good question, and that is what this article is actually talking about. So the undecided, the first point is to look at the proportion. We have had different polls. We have the TIFA poll. You also have Ipsos there coming on with a survey. It's knowing exactly who are these undecided, what is their demographic, what is their age group, where are they found, what is influencing their decision not to participate in these upcoming elections. So quoted here in this particular article is that among those who mentioned an intention to vote for any candidate, only 26% have gone beyond primary school, whereas more than double this figure, that is 56%, who do not mention any candidate are within this lower education bracket. So reasons for being undecided is that the self-professed undecided voter is provided by the distribution response, and that's the main thing. So where are they? Then also to the political party self-identification, the issue of confidence in the election and the integrity of it. The question of integrity of the elections has been coming up for in the run-up to the elections, with a section of critics coming and saying, you know what, we do not think that the IEBC is going to conduct a fair election. On the other hand, is that the IEBC, as the Commission has said, that it will execute its mandate with precision and allow for free and fair elections with just 5 days to go. So this particular article just goes to try and answer that question: who are the undecided voters, and why aren't they voting? Remember, we have various surveys there that indicate that Raila Amolo Odinga also continues to have a lead. We have Infotrack there that was released its poll on August 2nd. TIFA, conducted its poll on July 28th, and Ipsos as well on 2nd of August. They're showing that at least 6%, 5.2%, and 3.8% of Kenyans, cut across all those surveys, are still undecided as to who if they are going to be voting and who they are going to be voting for. But statistics are glaring and show that 3 out of 4 polls placed Raila ahead days to the general election. I think this brings a cap to matters in the headlines there, as we look at stories that have been making headlines. Just to remind you that we're going to be broadcasting some of the races and other games that are taking place at the Commonwealth Games, which are underway in Birmingham, UK there, and we're going to be watching the performance of Ferdinand Omanyala, the Africa's fastest man, at exactly 9:18 p.m. tonight for the 100 meters semi-finals there. Further details are available on our website. I'm Regina Manyara. I wish you a pleasant viewing ahead.
Says poll, first round victory depends on 7% undecided voters. 2 polls released yesterday indicate that Raila has gained over Ruto in the last 1 month after statistical ties in the previous popularity tests. So according to the polls, Raila has 49%, that is according to the Nation Media Group poll, and Ruto has 41%. 5 days to the general election next Tuesday. 3 surveys released yesterday by Nation Media Group, Infotrack, and Ipsos Synovate also show Odinga has stretched his lead to between 6 and 9 percentage points, and significantly beyond the margin of error, pointing to the beginning of the end of a statistical dead heat as both camps ramp up their campaigns. That is on the front page of the Daily Nation. Quickly into the next page here. Raila widens lead against DP Ruto in new poll that I've given you already. 4 candidates, it's time to learn from the numbers. Raila and Ruto teams should not be celebrating or throwing tantrums. what are they getting from the campaigns they're having. Repeat poll, all round one win is up to the undecided. According to the polls, only 2 pollsters have had the 2 leading presidential candidates over the 50% plus 1 mark. While the pollsters' definition of the undecided is not standard, their numbers show that the contest will have a winner in the first round if the undecided voters make up their minds or if they abstain from voting altogether. Now, a first round win of 50% plus 1 can only be achieved if the winner gets at least 8.63 million votes, assuming a voter turnout of at least 78%, as was the case in 2017. When pollsters got it all wrong, that's another bit here. The other side of it, Kenyans have been treated to many opinion polls, but going by the past 2 elections, pollsters get it wrong at times. We have got Ipsos Innovate lead researcher there, Tom Wolf, who says that ODM leader Raila Odinga in the lead for the presidential was declared winner. That is in 2017. With elections barely 5 days away, Kenyans have been treated to numerous opinion polls forecasting what the actual general election results would look like. And going by the past 2 elections, at times, the polls get it all wrong. So how is it going to be this time around? That is only a question that will be answered come next week at such a time. Yeah, so to speak. That is on the front page of the Daily Nation. Let me take you through the People Daily here. Polls put Raila ahead of Ruto again. Azimio advantage. Latest surveys give former Prime Minister Raila Odinga clear lead with his base saying that they back him for being a liberator. SDP comes second, but large numbers of respondents still undecided. More or less the same what is captured on the Daily Nation. Uhuru Commission's shipyard. This is after the first ship which was under construction by the Kenya Navy, Kenya Defence Forces, and a Dutch company finally got its lifeline in Kisumu. Now, according to the polls here, which was conducted by Infotrack, Raila has 49%, Ruto has 42%. Tifa in Nairobi, Raila has 52%, and Ruto has 34% in Nairobi County. Tifa, according to them, Raila is leading in Kajiado County with 52% and Ruto coming in second with 34%. According to the Ipsos general accumulation of the figures there, Raila has 47%, Ruto 43%. Schools in food transport crisis following closure. Head teachers say that stock of perishables foodstuff will go to waste after learners left for home yesterday. Most of the parents and even guardians were caught unawares because they had planned for later this week, Saturday, and the CS said that the earlier or the announcement which was made by the Education Ministry was a final. Survey, Raila ahead of Ruto but short of first round win. Duo must now fight tooth and nail to woo undecided voters to guarantee either of them outright victory. That is what's on the... we have it here on the People Daily. But interestingly, Tifa says that Sakaja Lenku most popular governor candidates. Kajiado Governor Joseph Olenku and Nairobi Senator Johnson Sakaja are likely to be elected governors for their respective counties next week. That is according to the Tifa poll, which was conducted between July 27th and 28th. Lenku, who is seeking re-election on an ODM ticket, was supported by 36% of those polled, while former Governor David Nkedienye of Jubilee received 25%. And yeah, so as far as that's concerned, we haven't insulted Uhuru, says Ruto. Deputy President claims that he is innocent of the allegations and instead names Raila's associates as major culprits. The DP was speaking in Nyeri yesterday. That is what we have on the People Daily. Very quickly on to this term. Yeah, I've taken you through the front page of the Star. But for the sake of people who didn't have it, Uhuru secret Kisumu, Kakamega meetings, Kenyatta tells Luo leaders not to let him down on Odinga's bid, ensure huge turnout. The gatherings was attended by current elected leaders and candidates only. That is on the front page of the Star newspaper here. Gachagua, we appeal to the international community over Uhuru illegal activities. Giving you more details on that, saying that they want the global community to rein in on Kenyatta to avert lacking disaster. Gachagua said that they will not cause violence should their main opponent, Raila Odinga, defeat them. That's a good indicator there. The presidential contest has shaped into a two-horse race between Ruto and Raila, with majority of recent polls predicting a dead heat without a clear round one winner. So Gachagua said that they want the international community to rein in on President Kenyatta to avert lacking disaster ahead of next week's general election. And something related to that talk of disaster, the CS for Interior, Fred Matiang'i, was in Nakuru yesterday, and he said that more security sent to Molo, Kurisoi and Eldoret ahead of general election. Additional security has been sent to those parts, with Interior Cabinet Secretary Fred Matiang'i saying that the decision was informed by election cycle precedents and intelligence briefs. So the National Security Council ordered beefing up of security in the areas. According to Matiang'i, he made the revelations after a meeting with the Rift Valley Regional Security Committee at Mary Mount School in Molo. The areas have in the past been centers of attacks before the polls to scare voters. And on that note, he revealed that 8 suspects linked to leaflets circulating in parts of Rift Valley threatening certain communities to vote for some leaders or risk eviction had been arrested. And that's a good indicator, so to speak. Okay, Raila pushes for 100% turnout to lock DP out of Nyanza. He says that polls will be won depending on how his bases will come out to vote on Tuesday. And basically, this is the strategy that now all the contestants are now deploying, just to go to their strongholds and push their supporters to come out in large numbers and have that 100% voter turnout. IBC official security beefed up ahead of Tuesday's polls. The commissioners were speaking yesterday at Bomas of Kenya during a press briefing. The security of senior electoral commission officials has been beefed up as the country gears up for the Tuesday's general election. IBC Commissioner Abdi Gulie on Tuesday said that all officials overseeing the elections have been guaranteed of their safety during and after the election. Something to comment about. All right, so that is as far as the People Daily, the Star, is concerned. And on that story about President Kenyatta meeting Luhya and Luo leaders in State House in Kisumu and State Lodge in Kakamega, respectively, it said that the meeting was attended by more than 200 leaders, both elected and Azimio aspirants from all the 4 Luo Nyanza counties. Not even the president's bodyguards were allowed in the meeting room. And according to the sources, the president told the leaders that his heart was with Raila Odinga, and that can only happen if the voters cast their ballots in full numbers. So that is as far as the People Daily is concerned. All right, there we have it. Quickly on to the Daily Nation on the inner beat of it. There's a story here about incumbent governors lead with 5 days to elections. And most of the governors who are here, we have got Kakamega County, Busia County, Trans Nzoia, Narok County, Vihiga, and so much more. We have got incumbent governors who are leading. We have got Otichilo of Vihiga County, Nyamira County, 60% of the voters, those polled in Kisii County, said that they are supporting Simba Arati, followed by Ezekiel Machogu with 12%. In Homa Bay, we have got two contestants. That is Gladys Wanga, in the lead with 51%, followed by Evans Gideru at 34%. In Migori County, Oshila Yako, 42%, followed by John Pesa, 24%. In Kisumu County, Governor Nyong'o still leading at 71%, followed by former governor, that is Jackton Ranguma, at 15%. Ranguma came back after he was defeated by Governor Nyong'o in the last general election. In Uasin Gishu, we have got Jonathan B with 44%, Zedekiah Buzeki with 21%. And finally, in Kajiado, Lenku is leading with 29%, followed by David Kendianye at 26%. That is as far as the polls are concerned. So that is it. Uhuru, why I finally settled on Raila to be my successor. This is an interesting read that I would urge you to take a look at that story. You can grab a copy of the Daily Nation and take a look at that. Uhuru is a joke for supporting Raila's State House bid, says Ruto. The DP say that he is confident he will trounce Odinga in Tuesday's general election. He was in Nyeri yesterday with his Kenya Kwanza brigade, just trying to solidify his voting bloc that in central Kenya. So that is as far as Daily Nation is concerned. All right, at that particular point, Director, it's time for a break.